Welcome to today's tip. We're going to talk about data validation and yes/no data lists. Basically, when you're building financial models, you can use data lists and numbers such as 1 and 0 to include and exclude certain items within your financial model. We're going to look at an example where you select either yes or no to include the calculation of tax. Now, firstly, we first need to define a data list, and you'll see here in our data list we either have 1 or 0, 1 being yes and 0 being no. Now we can make these numbers appear as yes and no by using custom number formatting. So if we go into the format cells menu, we can go and type in a custom number format. So here we want equals 0, we want Excel to show no, equals 1, we want Excel to show yes. And we type that in. We click OK. And you'll see that yes and no now appear. Just also note that Excel still uses these numbers as 1 and 0 in calculations. Next thing we're going to do is define this range, the yes/no range, as a name range. So we're going to bring up the name manager, and we're going to go new name, and we're going to call that list yes no. That refers to that range H5 to H6, which is our yes and no. So we click OK. So you'll see we've defined that range there now. We close out of that and move on to the next step. So now we ask ourselves, do you want to calculate tax? We either want yes or no, so we want to enter 1 or 0 here. So I've just entered 1, and you'll see that it appears as the numbers. So again, we go into the format cells and go into our list of custom number formats. And we've already defined no and yes here, so we can just go select no and yes and click OK. So we've got no there now. Now we can restrict our users to only entering no and yes, or 1 and 0 in this range, by using data validation to restrict the input in that cell to this data list range. Now the way we do that, we go into the data validation. So we go to data tools, data validation, and we go into the allow list, and we choose the list entry, and our source of our list is the range name yes no, and we click OK. And you'll see now a drop down box appears in next to our cell. So if we click down on that, you can see we can either select yes or no. If we try to put any other number there, you see we get an error, and we have to click retry and either enter 1 or 0. So we're going to start with that we do want to calculate tax. We've got a tax rate of 30% and a net profit before tax of 1 million. So to calculate tax is obviously the 1 million multiplied by the 30%, which gives you the 300,000. Now we want to be able to turn on and off this tax calculation, and you'll see we've got our yes or no flag above there. Now remember that yes and no flag is a 1 or a 0, so we can simply multiply by that flag over there. So we select the yes, and you see we get the 300,000. Now if we click over here and we turn no, we'll see that the taxation is now 0. Go back to yes, and you'll see it's 300,000. Sorry. Very useful in your financial models, as you can turn on and off certain conditions such as tax rates, GST or VAT rates. You can include or exclude certain expenses and P&L items. The possibilities are endless. Yeah, thanks for watching. Cheers.